What was I saying?
You're being a lot lizard.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
Okay, so picture this. You're getting ready for a night out and you want that extra je ne sais quoi. Something that makes you feel like you just stepped out of a movie scene. Well, I've been experimenting with a little something lately that has given me just that. This month, I've been trying a few scents that have completely transformed my entire being. First up, there's Blue Talisman by Ex Nihilo. This one is a really sweet, clean smell. It's a lighter fragrance, but it makes you smell like you just stepped out of a shower. Disclaimer, you should still take a shower. Next, there's Arabian's Tonka by Montal Paris. This one is another sweet fragrance, but it's a little bit muskier. Less of a day-to-day fragrance and more of a night on the town kind of smell. And last is Yellowstone. This one was kind of an outdoorsy, musky smell. Very mask. Perfect for the rodeo or scootin' boots at the hootenanny. I've been spritzing them on my pulse points, wrists, behind the ears, and a little on the back of the neck. That way, every time you move, it's like a little scent trail following you. And when people smell you, they'll follow too, like someone smelling a pie in a windowsill in an old cartoon. And here's the best part. You can try these scents too without committing to a full bottle with the help of Scentbird. It's a fragrance subscription service which allows you to explore over 900 authentic designer and niche fragrances. Each month, you'll receive an 8 milliliter vial providing about 120 sprays. Plenty to see how a scent works for you in various situations. And right now, you can get 55% off your first month by using the code MADDY2 or by scanning the QR code on the screen. You get to try your first fragrance from Scentbird for $8 and your next month will only be $16.95. That's MADDY2 for 55% off your first month. Trust me, it's worth it. Take it from an award-winning designer. A great scent is like a great outfit. It completes the look. And who doesn't want to smell really, really good? And now, onto the video. Hi guys, and welcome back to Give It To Me Straight, the show where the Hennies come to cluck. I'm your host, Maddy Morphosis, and joining me on location today, in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, is the original Henny, all the way from season 3 of RuPaul's Drag Race, Miss Stacy Layne Matthews.
Hey, Henny.
Hello, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me all the way out in the middle of nowhere in North Carolina today, in your home state. Because you were born and raised not far from here.
Yeah, about maybe 25 minutes from here. Back in Back Swamp.
Yeah, every location name sounds like it's like the middle of nowhere place, like Back Swamp, Lumberton. We're
Pembroke, St.
I
Paul's.
think we're in Lumber Bridge right now.
Lumber Bridge, where nobody ever goes, honey.
Well, maybe people shouldn't be coming out here because before we started filming today, I had to go retrieve you because you almost got lost.
Child, the directions GPS has me try to get me right together. Had me in the middle of a graveyard, honey.
In the middle of a graveyard, middle of someone's property, driving through someone's field with their
alarms going off.
Alarm systems going off, the cameras turning on. So
girl,
if
scandalous.
So if you are in North Carolina and you see the evening news and see Stacy Layne Matthews wanted,
that would be fair stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, you said before you never been arrested. It's because like you don't commit crimes, or you just never been caught?
I don't need I have so many other stresses in my life. I don't need that, honey.
Mm-hmm.
I try to not surround myself with people that would get me in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to mind my business.
Mm-hmm. you never been in, well, never mind. I was gonna say if you never been in handcuffs, but I'm sure you have. But you never been arrested though. You never been to jail, prison, juvie detention?
You know what? I've never had a ticket.
Never had a ticket?
I got pulled over for the first time maybe 3 weeks ago, and that was for my tags. I hadn't put my tags on yet,
mm-hmm.
the sticker. But other than a ticket, I've never had a ticket, never been in handcuffs. See, even in the bedroom, girl.
This is why you don't have 5 stars on DoorDash. You're not speeding enough. You take it too long. You don't have a ticket, but people's food is also cold. So
well, because I've been eating it.
and their large fry was only a small fry when it got there.
Right. Well, the bag is still say we're safe.
So as I mentioned, you're the original Henny. You came up with the phrase we all know and love. Where did that come from?
I think it's just a take on like just how being from the South, people call each other honey all the time,
mm-hmm.
honey. But I put a little bit of that back swamp twang to it.
Because most people you grew up around were chickens, so you're like, hey,
pretty
Henny.
much.
Yeah.
Because that's our alarm clock is chickens and roosters going off in the night. I mean in the morning. So Henny was what it was.
So that's just what you say. You said it on the show. Did you think that was going to be like a thing, or is it just something you said?
I didn't, but I'm kind of glad it did because I mean it feels good to hear other people say it and makes me feel good about myself, and
Yeah.
at least something I brought on the show kind of stuck and made some type of impression on people. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's the same thing with like I think similar to Jasmine Masters with the Anna Oop. It's just something that kind of entered not even just like the drag race or queer zeitgeist, but just like pop culture in general. Where you
Yeah.
know there's 13-year-olds in school who've never even seen season 3 of Drag Race saying Henny, and it's just part of the lexicon, part of how people talk.
You know what? It's weird. Like, I don't know if it's on purpose, but I catch myself watching a lot of TV shows and you kind of hear it, but you don't know if it's on purpose, but you know, it kind of makes me feel like, oh, they're thinking about me or something. I don't know. It's kind of cute.
It's like whenever you watch like the local news or something like that, and you're kind of like in the background in the crowd. You're like, oh my god, it's me! I'm on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that little boy with the, what's it called? What's his name?
I think I know who you're talking. I think you're talking about Brendan Jordan. The
Yeah,
person, yeah.
She cute, honey. She cute.
I saw them in WeHo one day, and I was like, "You look so familiar." And then someone told me that they were like the Lady Gaga kid.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like, and they're just out walking around. Other people,
Living their best life.
Other people go out to Hollywood and they look out, try to bump into like Leonardo DiCaprio or something. Where I'm like, I saw the Lady Gaga kid. So
Child, I'm trying to bump into Magnolia Crawford, or you know who that is?
she's still alive.
I don't know. Let's call her and see.
Give me an answer machine, a disconnected line. It's gonna sour the whole mood. Does it feel weird like having that impact on the show though, and like having that splash you made and people saying like your phrases but may not be familiar with you? Is it weird that it's just like a piece of you just kind of floating out there?
I mean, yeah, because I feel like a lot of kids these days, they're just more about trends and stuff. And so a lot of people, they're familiar with me or something like that, but they don't really know what my experience was on Drag Race. So I think it's cool that kids are keeping up with the trends these days, but it's kind of cool to know where these things come from, because if you watch Drag Race, you'll see like, and people are always wondering, I say these things, but never know where they come from. So I think a lot of people just need to go back and watch and figure out where all these phrases came from, because, you know, kind of helps.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, it's not all on them, because every single season of Drag Race, it's like little orphan kids that get split up. Like, they're all over the place. They all have different homes. Half of them are on Paramount or Wild Presents Plus. Some are on YouTube. They was on Netflix for a minute.
Logo.
The is Logo even still around
I
anymore?
don't even know. I think it's just like gardening shows or something.
Gardening shows?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, but it's just it's harder to access that. It's just like
Yeah.
the ones that were there knew. You know, the ones that seen it, you saw it, you know, and but for everyone else, it's just like a faint memory, you know.
I had that little stint on All Stars 4. Was that on VH1? I don't even remember. It might have been MTV. I don't know. I
not
can't keep
sure.
up, honey. There's like 32 seasons of Drag Race. I don't know.
They keep moving it.
Could you tell you were on VH1, like backstage and like the promos and stuff?
Well, we actually we were excited because we thought we were going to be on MTV, because they were telling
Yeah.
us that we were going to be the first season on MTV. And even whenever we were filming like our little promos and things, people had little cars that had MTV on it. And then when it got closer to time where they were going to air it, they told us it was going to be on VH1.
Well, honey, we were filming our commercial for Logo, and I thought it was fierce, honey. I thought I was up in there like, yes, honey, I'm famous, honey. Famous. It was just so fierce. And Matthew Anderson, that used to do RuPaul's makeup, he was my photographer for my promo shoots. So.
Yeah.
Girl, you couldn't tell me nothing. Logo, HGTV, I don't give a shit, honey. I was on it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a big deal, even if it wasn't like for like the main pop culture or main like general audience.
Yeah.
Like for the queer community, like that was like a big deal. It was a big show, you know?
Even when I was watching season 2, I was just like, I cannot believe there's something like this on TV that we can watch and appreciate. And I was like, I was watching it with my cousins and stuff, and I was like, I cannot believe this is there. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be on this show. And that's exactly what I made happen.
Yeah, it's also too, like, as you said, you came up from the middle of nowhere, North Carolina, and now to be on a platform like that, you know, same thing back home. Like, I'm from Arkansas, small town there. The idea of even being on the local news or in the newspaper is like a crazy thing to think about. Like, I had a friend in a different state who was a contestant on Deal or No Deal, and I told everybody about it. That was so
Yeah.
exciting to me. I knew somebody that was on TV,
Because
and
people kind of live through that, like your
uh-huh.
experiences, especially being from a small town. Like everybody that I knew were talking about me being on TV because it's a huge accomplishment for someone coming from such a small area.
What was it like for you growing up though? Were you a popular kid in school? Like all these people that are saying like, "Oh my God, I went to high school with her." Like, were they cool with you back then,
Well, it
or
was
was it?
kind of hit or miss because I feel like being a plus size person in high school, I kind of
Mm-hmm.
make people like me because I always, this is kind of bad, but I always made fun of myself before anybody else could. So
To like soften the
I,
blow?
yeah,
Yeah.
I was on homecoming court. I was prom king.
You're prom king.
Yes, girl.
I didn't know that.
Prom king realness, honey. But
Uh,
the thing is, the night of prom,
mm-hmm.
someone took my tuxedo jacket and hid it, and they hid my trophy. So it
Mm-hmm.
was just no. A lot of people didn't like it. So, but I made the most of it. I had fun in high school.
So why was it that you got elected homecoming king, but then there were so many people that were upset with it?
I don't
Why were
know.
people so
There was
split?
just a few people that could not deal with my fierceness, honey. Because I didn't honestly didn't care what anybody thought about me in high school. I was there to have a good time, uh, get good grades, experience the high school experience, and whatever people thought about me was none of my damn business, like RuPaul says.
So you were just like very like out and flamboyant in small town North Carolina? Like that was you?
Yeah, I was voted most spirited because if there was a theme or
Mm-hmm.
something where we had to dress up, bitch, I was the first one in line.
So what was it like? Did you experience like more bullying because of being a plus size person or because of being like a very flamboyant person? Were you out in high school?
I never really had to come out. There's types of
Uh-huh.
people who are you're not questioning it.
Yeah.
I was a theater kid,
Mm-hmm.
music kid, chorus, concert choir and stuff like that. So I was just always the person that was really into the arts, and so people never really had to question it. I was just,
Mm-hmm.
doing my own little thing.
Yeah. 'Cause I know like whenever you went to like your high school reunion, you actually went like as like a trans woman. So I didn't know if people then knew you like so openly or not. Cause like this is there's like you at your high school
Ah!
reunion. There she is.
Child, when I would tell you that was one of the most
Uh-huh.
awkward moments of my life.
Was it? So like whenever you went to this like reunion, like were people surprised to see you like that, or is it kind of like, oh, we saw that come in? Like what was it? What was the
No, well, you
experience
heard
like
it.
for you?
There was quite a few people there, and there was only maybe 16 people that spoke to me.
Mm-hmm.
The other ones wouldn't even look at me.
Mm.
So that's one of the reasons why I was late. I was like, well, the less time I'm there, the less time I have to deal with
Right.
people's attitude and their snobby
Yeah.
looks.
Just make a cameo appearance.
Yeah, that's
You know,
basically what
to
happened.
say hi to the real ones and then bounce. Go to where'd you go afterwards though?
Oh God, where did I go?
You already all gussied up.
Probably got some trade, honey. I don't know. Ain't no telling.
Uh-huh. You had your good hard front on. You're like, I'm ready.
I know it involved some type of Bud Light or beer or something somewhere.
Oh yeah, because you can take the queen out of North Carolina, but you can't take the North Carolina out
Can't
of the
take the
queen.
can out of my life, honey.
Uh-uh. Like so, you talked about again. You're saying like you're voted like homecoming king. Did you have a lot of support from like friends in school whenever you were in high school, or was it just kind of like a couple people? Like, what was it like for you?
I feel like I had a lot of support because I always treated people the way that I wanted to be treated, and I was pretty confident, and I didn't let people talk bad about me or try to bully me because I make fun of myself. So
Mm-hmm.
so I made a lot of friends from the beginning because that's just the type of person that I am, a very social butterfly at times, but then I have my shy moments. But from the very beginning, I made the best of what I had. So
Mm-hmm. What was your family's reaction to everything? Because I mean, I know you kind of hit them with, a lot of punches over time.
hmm
Like throughout the stages of like you coming out as gay, you coming out as trans, and coming out as like a drag queen. Like, what was the support level from your family?
well, some of them were on board, but I've been still do deal with a lot of people that don't agree with the whole becoming a woman or identifying as a woman, presenting as a woman. So
Mm-hmm.
when I'm at home, I'm pretty much everything the opposite of that. because I just don't feel like dealing with the negativity or having to explain myself or, that's a whole nother book, honey.
Yeah. So even now, like whenever you're back in your small town, like you are male presenting publicly just to not deal with everything.
Well, I wouldn't say male presenting. I'm at a point in my life is at like whatever you see or whatever you call me, whatever you feel like I identify as, whatever your eyes tell you is what I am. Because I feel like having to correct people, like the whole, what's her name? Tilly Lily. What's her name on
Oh, I think it's Lily something. The
Lily
one that's
Tino
like
or
going to
whatever?
Disney all the time.
Girl, I ain't got time for all that. I don't have time to explain. I ain't got time to debunk.
Uh-huh.
It's just too much. Like, I'll tell you this funny story. There was a Chinese restaurant in my small town, and the owner was obsessed with me, a Chinese lady, and she would call me pretty boy. And she would always have one of my drag pictures up in the restaurant, and for some reason, every Sunday, that picture would go missing. And a lot of my mom's church family would go there. So I'm just like, did they not want to see me up there looking fabulous?
Well, at least you had the support of the local Chinese restaurant, though.
Yes, honey. I
Yeah.
got free food, honey.
You got them behind your back in your corner. Who else do you need? Honestly.
Yeah.
But like, with where you are located, though, because like North Carolina is, some would still consider it the South, and you don't even live in like the big city, North Carolina. Like you
Yeah.
still live out in the sticks.
In the swamps.
Have you ever not considered like moving to like a bluer area or a more
I
progressive
have
area?
before. I mean, I lived in San Antonio for a year. I lived in Toledo, Ohio for a year. I don't know. There's just something about this place that kind of draws you back in because I don't know if it's a Southern thing. And a lot of people that I know that have moved away, they talk about it. It's called the curse of Robinson County.
Okay.
When you leave,
Uh-huh.
at some point you're gonna come back. Whether it's to retire, to just get away. If you're getting older, you're gonna come back and help support the family. But I wish I would have stayed gone.
So what you say you wish you would have stayed gone? Why did you come back? Do you like was just
I don't know.
bills,
The curse.
price of living, the curse?
Yeah, I guess not having my family around, like not being able to get in the car and drive to my mom's or something like that. Because honestly, I love my mom, and not being able to see her every day, or even though we have our differences, I still love her, and not being able to have access to her was not easy for me. So I think that's one of the reasons why I always come back.
But as you mentioned, like you say, you and your mom have like differences. It's just like about your identity and who you are, or
Yeah, well, I have a lot of issues mentally that I feel like the older she gets, the more particular, and she doesn't understand a lot of the ways that I am. She was never raised to know how to help someone who has like depression or anxiety, or she doesn't know the right things to say. She doesn't know how to say I love you. It's easier for her to say I love you to other people that she's not related to, like her church people, versus her own child. And I think I have this, I don't know what I would call it, a grudge with my mom. But I feel like I've spent my whole life trying to make her happy and not being very successful with it. And I made it on TV, and I feel like she would always talk about it with everybody else, but she never told me that she was proud of me because of what it was. I mean, if I was on like The Biggest Catch or something like that, what's the word? What's the show with loggers? If I was one of those people,
or ice road truckers.
Ice Road Truckers, that would have been a
Yeah.
lot easier than RuPaul's Drag Race. So I've had a lot of issues with that, and I've been dealing with that for my whole life. So
How many siblings do you have?
Just one sister.
Just one sister. Was it like that? Was she like that with both of her kids, or was it just you? She's always been that way towards.
Well, my sister's always been, she had the kids. She has 3 kids. She's married now. She lives on her own. And here I am, not having any kids. They're all religious. I'm not religious at all. I'm not a fan of organized religion. And I think one of that's like, I don't try to throw my drag and all that up in my mom's face. But a lot of times, I think we're getting too deep with this. I hope she doesn't watch this. Can we?
Yeah, you can get as deep as you want, but I mean, I'm assuming if she's not watching RuPaul's Drag Race, she's probably not watching this show.
It's fine. I don't know. I'm not trying to bash my mom, but I'm not what she expected, or what she hadn't planned for me as a son, as a child, I don't go to church. I don't have kids. I'm not married. But I've had to deal with, I tried to make something of myself, and I feel like that wasn't good enough for her. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why I haven't adventured out more than I have, because I felt like I wasn't good enough. So here we are.
I mean, we'll talk more about like, things you've gone through and like plans like for the future, but like just in general, like, do you still have plans to like seek more, or are you kind of content where you are here now, or?
No, honestly, I'm not content at all. One of the things I have lost myself a lot after, maybe 4 years ago, I kind of lost myself. I went into a really dark place, and I lost all interest in drag. Like, I had no desire. Like, I would go to gigs and I would literally just lay in the bed and be depressed, and not regret being there, but just I didn't want to put the makeup on. I didn't want to go smile in people's faces, because I knew deep down inside I wasn't happy. And honestly, I'm still working on it. I have a fear of failing. I have a fear of disappointing people. I have a fear of hearing what other people have to say about what I'm doing, or how well I'm doing, how well I'm not doing. And that takes a toll on someone who has, mental issues like depression and stuff, because I'm the type of person, if someone says something negative to me, I'm not the type of person to just brush it off and move on. I replay it in my head. This is my anxiety. I'm still replaying shit from RuPaul's Drag Race 2011, 2012. That's issues. And that's a lot of issues like I try to talk to people about, but especially my family, and they just don't. They don't know. They don't have the capacity to try to help me fix it, because they can't relate.
Yeah. So
And I don't have, my circle went from this to this. And those people, they try, but I'm very complex.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also too, like as you mentioned, like they have no reference of like understanding. It's such like a foreign world to them.
Yeah.
But like, why is it that you drifted away from like that larger circle to such a smaller one? Was it just because of the depression and everything you were experiencing that you wanted to self-isolate, or?
I don't know. I feel like after COVID, a lot of people changed, and I feel like change is good. But I feel like a lot of things happened dramatically and very quickly. I don't know what it was. A lot of people, there was kind of really no reasons for it. The communication just stopped. Even my closest friends. I went from, talking to every day, maybe once a week, once a month, and then some I haven't heard from in a year. So I don't know. I wish I knew the answers, but I don't. And I believe in vibrations and like energies, and I feel like we're just not on the same plane anymore. And that's okay.
Yeah. Have you considered, again, like you do kind of live out in the swamps,
Yeah.
but you're not like too far from like the drag scenes. Like, have you ever thought about just going out as a member of like the scene, just not necessarily in drag, but just like as a member of the community, and finding that little circle again?
I've thought about it. I've thought about it. That's about it. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to work on myself first before I do all that because I cannot afford another setback with whether it be a relationship or trying to meet someone because from my experience around here, there's just always people trying to take. And that's me being a Cancer, me being an empath. I just feel like everybody's just always taking from me and like dumping their energy off of me and expecting me to help them. And I'm always helping other people, but there's never anyone there I can't say never. There are a few people that help me out a whole lot in my life and they know who they are. But as far as just going out to the club and I just can't deal with the energies. It's either that or I have to be really drunk, honey.
It's like a double-edged sword. Like you don't deal with all the negative vibrations, but
and I don't want
alcohol isn't always the best spiral either.
Yeah, and I don't want to have to be inebriated. Is that the word? I don't want to have to be, but I've brought myself to that point. Like if I'm somewhere hanging out, I have to have something to drink to be comfortable, to be, because if I don't, it's just like, oh, let me get out of here.
Yeah. The Drag Race being such like a life-changing thing, do you think that Drag Race in general has been more of like a positive in your life, or is it just kind of like was a high point that led to a more negative point? Or
I feel like Drag Race gave me a lot of amazing opportunities. And I feel like if it had been anyone else, they would have taken those opportunities and made them more opportunities. But I feel like after watching the show and listening to the comments, listening to the critiques, reading the comments online, they kind of broke me. And it sent me into this dark place. So honestly, it was both a curse and a blessing. But I don't think I was strong enough. I wasn't strong enough to be on Drag Race at the time I was. Because I was kind of, it's like taking a little baby goat and throwing it into the ocean with the sharks. I wasn't ready. And now I'm having to deal with that, honey.
do you think how the effect the show had on you would have been different had you been cast on seasons like 6 or 7 or somewhere a little further down the road? Or do you think it's not an opportunity you really would have been ready for at any point?
I think if I would have had a little bit more time to audition and send in tapes, get rejected, audition, send in tapes, get rejected, I would have said, okay, this is what I need to work on. But when I auditioned for Drag Race, I sent in a tape and automatically they were like, okay, you're on the show. So I didn't really have any time to prepare mentally or say, this is what I need to work on. And I think I had maybe 2 weeks to get myself together. And it was not enough, honey. So I feel like I would have if I had been given a little bit more opportunity to work on myself as far as like drag and makeup skills, because there's a lot of things that I didn't know about makeup when I went on my season. And India Farah taught me a lot of stuff because I'd never done a cut crease. Never done a cut crease, and India showed me how to do that. So I still had a lot to learn. What I knew at going into Drag Race was fine for what I was doing at home in the bars, but not for TV.
Well, I mean, I would say, like, in your defense, like, I don't think you had bad drag. And I think, especially now in newer seasons of Drag Race, the girls, they have so much of a frame of reference of, like, here's the checklist, what you should do, yada, yada. Here's makeup tutorials on how to do everything. But, you came from a generation that's, like, a lot of early seasons of Drag Race, it was what the girls were doing at the bars.
Yeah.
And honestly, I felt that was more real. I mean, really, I don't know.
I mean, if you got 13 seasons of Drag Race and you started auditioning season 2, you got all that time to prepare a fierce package, just like a pageant. I didn't have nothing. Not nothing, honey.
Have you ever been to a therapist who only has openings in the middle of your workday? Or a dermatologist who brings up your cosmetic issues before you do? Or had to drive over an hour to see that one specialist in your insurance network? Well, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to settle anymore when it comes to finding the right doctor. With ZOCDOC, you've got options. ZOCDOC is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. We're talking about booking in-network appointments with more than 100,000 doctors across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, primary care to urgent care, and more. You can filter for doctors who take your insurance, are located nearby, are a good fit for any medical needs you may have, and are highly rated by verified patients. Once you find the right doctor, you can see their actual appointment openings, choose a time slot that works for you, and click to instantly book a visit. Appointments made through ZOCDOC also happen fast, typically within just 24 to 72 hours of booking. You can even score same-day appointments. This is a really great service for me because in my 30s, I just now got health insurance for the first time, and I never went to the doctor as a kid, so I didn't really know how the system worked at all. But with just a couple clicks, I can find whatever doctor I need that's in my insurance anywhere at any time. So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/straight to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/STRAIGHT. ZocDoc.com/straight. Hey, it's Maddy, and I want you to check out Courtney Act's new show, R&R with Courtney Act, where she tackles the world's biggest issues with some amazing guests. It's all sponsored by Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/Courtney50off and use code Courtney50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box.
When did you get started in drag?
I started in drag back in 2002.
2002.
So right when I was turning 18. Is that a bug?
Yeah, it was like an ant.
Girl, we getting attacked by the bugs, girl.
Yeah, I live out in the desert. I'm not used to bugs. It's been a minute. You get a lot of
Y'all
bugs.
ain't got bugs.
Not out there, we don't.
Well, I'm gonna make you a to-go place of bugs.
So you started drag, was it right after high school or while you were in high school?
Right after high school. I was doing drag in high school, but
Yeah.
it wasn't drag.
Oh, it wasn't drag? What was it? What would you call
I
it?
don't know what that was, honey. Spirit Week.
Oh, like Powder Puff.
Yeah,
Things
stuff
like that. Yeah, but like, when did you actually start performing, hitting the stage?
Probably.
When did this young lady get her start?
I hate you.
That's a woman right there.
Let me
though.
see
You can't
this.
deny.
Where was that?
You tell me.
I don't even know.
That's probably early days of drag. It's probably early 2000s, pre 2010.
Girl, that was my fish face.
Uh-huh.
You know what? I think I remember this night. You want to hear about it?
Hey, there's a story. Let's hear it.
Oh, I think I had a date this night.
Okay.
And he took me to the park, and it was in the middle of the night, in the middle of the country, in a park. And we were making out and stuff. And I didn't have any hair underneath this, so there was nothing bobby pins. Mm-hmm. And I leaned back, and this whole piece of hair fell off and went into the leaves.
No.
And he was like, "Oh, God, I'm so baby." And he picked my wig up, and it had leaves all over it. He was trying to put it a mess. You can throw that away.
Well, it's better to have loved and lost.
Oh, God.
But whenever you started performing in drag, did you just went out to were you looking for drag, or would it just happen to be at the gay clubs and stuff, or?
Well, I started going to this place called Alias in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is maybe 20 minutes from here. Mm-hmm. And I started going there in drag and borrowing stuff from my one of my neighbors, because I started going to UNC Pembroke College. Mm-hmm. And I started borrowing outfits from them, and I would go out, and then they offered me to do a cameo for one of their show nights. And so I threw together an outfit, and I done a show there. And then they put me on Junior House Cast. Mm. And then I left from there and went to House Cast, and then it all started from there.
Started to spiral. Did your family know did your family know you were starting to get into drag at this time, or was it kind of everything's under the bed?
They kind of knew. I didn't really talk about it. Mm-hmm. Kind of done everything in secret. I took everything with me in the car, and sometimes I'd stop at a rest stop, put that drag on, or get to the club while people's in there taking a piss. I'm in trying to do makeup.
Not lot lizard drag. It's crazy.
I would honestly go anywhere I could to get in drag. Mm-hmm. I just didn't want my mom to know what I was doing or what was going on. I would go to my cousin's house, anywhere, honey.
Mm-hmm. When did it start to transition from drag to thinking you might have been a woman? Did one domino lead to the other?
Well, I've never really felt like a man. Mm-hmm. but my drag mother, she's a trans woman, and I feel like a lot of the inspiration comes from her because she would always tell me, "Girl, you are not a man." I'm sorry. She would always make me do my hair when I started growing my hair out. She'd make me flat iron it, or she'd flat iron it for me. Would go out of town, look at the boys, just live the whole female fantasy. And I never felt like a man.
She's just there picking the leaves out of your hair for you.
Right.
When did you start to have those feelings? Just like in general? Or is it at a certain point in your life you started to realize it?
I always felt that way. I just, at a younger age, I didn't really understand it. Because when I was little, I was walking around with a towel around my head, pretending I had long hair. And I just always felt like a woman. My mama used to always tell me that I was obsessed with women's butts and titties. Like, in the middle of the grocery, what is it? Grocery store. Just like running up to random women and just feeling on their asses because I felt like, this is what I want my ass to look like.
Uh-huh.
I got so many beatings.
You're doing field research.
Right.
Yeah.
Scoping it out.
Like, was your dad involved at all in the picture, or?
No, not at all. I mean, he was around. But there's a song called "There's a Ghost in This House." He was pretty much a ghost to me. We didn't have a relationship at all. We didn't have conversations. We didn't have anything, really. And honestly, I think he hated me for no reason. Like, he used to call the cops on me for no reason.
Call the cops?
Girl, you have no idea. Trauma.
For what?
For no reason.
Yeah, I mean, no, for no reason, but like he had to have a reason when they showed up.
Well, when they showed up, one time I remember going outside when the cop was there, and I said, "Officer, what is this about?" And my daddy goes, "Yeah, he's gay."
Oh.
And I'm like, "Have I committed any crimes here?" And the officer's like, "No, you can go back inside." I'm like, that's the shit I had to deal with, just random stuff. Like, my dad had been in a lot of accidents when he was younger, and it messed up a lot of his mental state and like mental capabilities. So he was on drugs really bad. And he could do all the drugs in the world he wanted to, but as far as like alcohol, as soon as he put alcohol in his system, he was ready to like kill someone. He was never like abusive, but to me, he took it out on everything else.
Yeah. I guess that's
Yeah.
one silver lining. Was that, like, you mentioned earlier that you don't want to go out to the club and get liquored up to talk to people. Was that part of the reason why you have an aversion to like alcohol?
Probably. I mean, I don't sit around and drink all the time. Like, I might have 1 or 2 days a month, 3, 4, 5. I don't know.
Right.
Where I just sit and have a beer or something. But as far as going out, I literally can't. I know this is bad to say. I can't go somewhere and not have a cocktail or something. And I know that's bad to say, but I think honestly, being in this business, I feel like I have some type of social anxiety. Because I've had to deal with like not deal with, but just being put in the spotlight and feel like, oh my God, are they noticing me? Do they know who I am?
Or if you do feel like they notice you, you have a pressure to be like on.
A certain way. And if you're not, you hear about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I met Stacy and she was a
It makes it difficult too, because especially whenever you have been on the show or something, you go to the clubs and now everyone wants to give you alcohol because it's almost like people's love language to you, where it's like, oh, let me get you a drink for you. Let me get you free drinks.
You know what they always say when I go to a show? Stacy loves Fireball. Everybody get Stacy a Fireball shot. So at the end of the night, I'm just like, girl. And I won't turn it down. I won't. I can't say it, no.
Because you're an empath.
Yeah, and I'm sweet. Southern belle.
Yeah. I know the backseat of your car smells like Christmas with all this Fireball.
No.
But with your trans identity, you're also Native American, and I know a lot of Native American tribes have more positive, progressive views on like trans people, but your tribe is the Lumbee tribe, which is kind of like almost like a conglomerate of different Native tribes. Did you feel like a support from the Native community around here at all, or no?
Not at all, honey.
No.
I used to be on this list of notable Lumbee Indians, and every time my name was put up there, it was taken down. 'Cause that just can't deal. And I don't want to talk bad about them, but I tried to give the tribe a little bit of recognition when I was on TV, and then we done the whole cake challenge, and I dressed my doll up like in a Native American regalia, and I talked about the Lumbee tribe. But anything that's different or not normal, they don't support. Honestly, I mean, I have a few supporters, but
Yeah.
they're not in this county.
Yeah.
Well, we're not even in my county.
It sounds like a lot of like the negativity in your life stems from the location.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have plans? Like, do you plan to stay here the rest of your life, or do you want to get out at
No,
some point?
I need to go. I need to go. Like, I'm working on getting my gastric bypass surgery. So when I get that done and I can get my mind together, I want to get as far as away from this place as I can.
Do you know where you want to go?
Have no idea. Like the last few times I've moved, like when I moved to Ohio, I moved in 3 days. The idea was set in one day. The third day I was gone. I'm that type of person. So if I find a place that sparks my interest and I know I can make it there or make it lucrative or make something of it, then it's always a possibility.
Yeah. Just fast forward 5 years from now, you're gonna be running some bar as like the pageant queen that rules some small bar with an iron fist. It's gonna be you.
Doing backflips and splits.
Yeah, when you gonna do those again?
Ciao.
Coming soon.
Yeah, I need a break.
I can't imagine drag is easy to do in North Carolina, out in the sticks like this. I mean, which especially for someone like you, being a pageant queen, but then still having to wear chicken wigs. It's hard, It's like because you don't have the same resources.
Oh,
This is what you could put together,
I did make that dress.
You love a good chicken wig, though.
Lazy.
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 See, life-
That's all it is.
life
I'll
may
be
be-
honest. I got lazy.
Life may be hard, but the lace front is gonna be harder.
Right. I've never put on a lace front wig, like actually glued one down.
I mean, you don't really need one. I think you're a topper queen because you got the hairline for it.
Yeah, but I cut all this off.
I know, but you still got it. You can still pin something to the top of that, though.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, I don't know. That's how you know you're supposed to be a woman, because you got a hairline like that. You're not meant to be anything else.
I still got my hairline, thank God.
But did you find it difficult doing drag in this area, though? Because once you started to like venture out in like the slightly bigger cities and the bars and stuff, was it just like a much more positive experience, or was it still difficult?
No, it's always a much more positive experience the farther you get away from this place. Because there's one, we tried to do like a drag brunch here in Lumberton. We had people outside protesting and stuff, and cops showing up, news crews. I'm like, girl, we just trying to have a brunch,
Yeah.
drink some mimosas, mind our damn business.
Yeah.
But we can't.
This little cabin we're in is very live, laugh, love. I just know they're going to be pissed if they find out what we're doing in here.
Oh, God. I think I see torches outside.
Oh, God, not that. Not torches. They're probably coming for you for dropping through their field earlier.
I took out that post.
You say you took out a post?
Yeah, man. I went to make a turn and one of the things that...
We talked about, I thought you like bumped into one. I know you took out
Yeah, no, the wheel took it out. It probably whipped out the front of the car.
On the way here, you took out somebody's post.
Yes.
This is why you don't have 5 stars on DoorDash.
How do you know what I have? I have 4... Oh, shit. I actually have 4.96.
Oh, okay. You know what that 0.04 you're missing is?
Hitting polls.
Somebody's post. Yeah, somebody's mailbox.
I've done that before, too.
Talking about chicken wigs, speaking of chickens, what happened at Wendy's?
What about it?
You mentioned one day, I saw a Facebook status where you were talking about a Wendy's story. You said, I'll tell y'all one day. Something about a Wendy's story. Something happened at a Wendy's.
When I used to work there?
I don't know. You just alluded to a Wendy's story. I feel like there's something here you're not saying.
Oh, when they fired me for voiding off a 5-piece nugget?
Is that what it was?
Yeah, sonny. I used to be a manager in training, and I guess they had given me the combinations to the safe and stuff too early, or like they had given me the keys to the store too early. So they fired the general manager, who was my drag daughter, and then they kept me. I trained the new general manager, and then I still had a manager code. So one day they were taking too damn long. I was like, I need a void on this damn chicken nugget, honey. Nobody ever came, so I said, boop, 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 boop. Got me fired.
Damn.
Ain't that some shit over a damn 5-piece nugget?
Or a 5-piece. That's crazy.
What a damn shame. I don't know if that was the story you was talking about, but
It's not the most riveting Wendy story. It's not what I picture something even crazier.
I did wreck that office though when they fired me.
Okay.
She said, "Can you sign this?" I said, "I ain't signing shit." After I just got done training this bitch, I said, I took my hand and said, whoosh, all the papers off the desk. I was throwing potatoes.
How did you pass the Psycho Bell for Drag Race?
I bet that's why they make it on All Stars.
They probably like you took that test and they're like, okay, she's she's chemically unbalanced, so she's gonna make good TV.
You know what? I asked somebody that. I said, "Did I not pass the psych evaluation?" They were like, "I don't know. Do you think you didn't pass it?"
Post Drag Race, you went through like a whirlwind of change in your life. Most of it negative. You went through like financial troubles, medical issues, almost being homeless. Like, can you walk us through like what happened post show, like in the past like few years?
Right after the show or recently?
Well, we can start like after the show because it was around the time of like COVID that things really started to take a turn for you.
I think life became too much for me. I lost all like hope and like everything that I had like planned to do, or like I couldn't keep a manager that had faith in me, or I wasn't giving them what they wanted for me to be successful. And you know, when a person goes through like the whole depression thing, people think it's, just having a bad day, but my depression used to be so bad that it was crippling. Like sometimes I didn't want to get out of bed. I couldn't drive. Every time I would get in the car, I was having a panic attack. So yeah, like as far as like getting stuff together to do a show, or keeping a manager that wanted to book me and wanted to work with me, because I had no passion to do anything, I wouldn't want to work with me either. So that was hard. So I kept to myself, and if you're not working,
Yeah.
you're not working. And nothing ain't free in this world.
Was it just like you just like lost a passion for performing, or was it just everything in your life was just so crippling that you had issues doing gigs?
Just anything, like just life in general. Cooking. I used to love to cook. I don't do that anymore. I used to love going live on the internet. I don't do that anymore. I have a TikTok. I don't go live. People are like, you should go live, but as soon as I get on live and the first negative comment I see, bloop, I turn it off. Because I can't deal with it. And I should be able to. Because I feel like I've been trained, like doing interviews and stuff, to be able to handle that type of stuff. I just haven't found the right answer or the right solution to get past that.
Yeah.
But I will. A lot of people would say, "Oh, I'll never do it." I will.
So you're not like resigned from
No.
putting yourself out there anymore. Okay.
No. I think I'm going through a spiritual awakening. And when I come out on the other end, I'm like a butterfly in a cocoon. Just
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Sorry. But yeah, when I come out on the other end, I feel like I'll be good. And because I have this one friend, his name's Chris Luna. He helps me through a lot of stuff because he's familiar with the stage and he does drag. And he gives me a lot of, positive energy. And he's a lot of the times he's the person that pushes me to do even more than I am doing. He's like, you need to post this, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to stay relevant. And it's true, because in this industry, you got to be relevant because things change so quickly.
Yeah. especially now, there's so many girls,
Yeah.
even people that were big names a while back. People they only remember what they saw yesterday. So,
And you know what's bad? Like, I don't watch Drag Race religiously like some people, but I know a lot of queens. If you could show me a lot of queens, I'd be like, I don't know who that is, because I've lost touch with a lot of that thing, and I feel like because I was on it doesn't mean I have to watch it religiously, you know?
yeah. I think most of the people that were on the show don't even watch it like that anymore.
Yeah,
I think part of it also being because they were on the show. Like I
yeah,
watched the show a lot more before I was on it,
yeah.
and I don't know. But on top of all the, the mental health struggles that you were dealing with, you also went through a lot of just health issues in general.
Yeah.
You don't have to violate HIPAA if you don't want to, but like what happened? If you're comfortable sharing, like what happened?
Honestly, my body has a really high inflammatory situation. So when I had a show in Detroit last year. I left Detroit, my back was already hurting like it is now. This is why I'm saying it's a year later. And this is how it felt before it went out. But I left Detroit and I had to get a wheelchair at the airport because I couldn't walk up straight. I was like, what is going on? So I got in the wheelchair and they put me on the plane. They let me sit in the first seat, which is first class, so I didn't have to walk auto through there. So I was sitting there, and the plane, I was in excruciating pain all the way there. And we got to Phoenix, and so I got off that plane, and I got on the next plane. Well, I started to get on the next plane, and when I went to move my legs, they wouldn't move. And I was like, what the fuck? So everybody got off the plane, and I'm telling the lady, I'm having a situation. I didn't know. I thought I was paralyzed. I could move them a little bit, but they felt like they were 1,000 pounds, 1,000 pounds. And I was like, I had never experienced that before. So I finally slowly got off the plane as everybody stood there and watched me looking crazy going down the ramp, because this is the plane that pulls up to it doesn't pull up to like the gate.
Yeah.
So I made it to the wheelchair, and I made it to baggage claim. I made it to the car to pick me up. I literally could not lift my legs up to put them in the car. And I'm just crying, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on? And at this point, I didn't know I had like an inflammatory issue with my body. So when I left there, I got to the hotel. I could not walk from the car to the door. They had to get one of those cart things and let me hold on to it. And it took me like 20 minutes to get from like 30 feet. And I sat down and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but they called an ambulance. Come to find out, I had spinal stenosis, and the hole that's in my spine that covers the nerve that controls your legs was pressing against that nerve and cut off the function of the legs.
Oh my God.
And once the nerve is compromised, it has to heal itself. So I spent 9 days in that hospital in Arizona and Flagstaff, and it took me a month to be able to walk again.
Jesus.
So that's the type of stuff I had to deal with. I had to deal with gout, and I had to deal with the anxiety, the depression, the gout, the spinal stenosis, all that stuff. And I feel like, once I have my gastric bypass, then I can start focusing more on that, because I have to take anti-inflammatories every day. They mess up my stomach. So
Jesus.
the struggle, honey.
I know you had posted about health issues and a couple hospital scares and things like that, but I didn't know like what it was. And
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was like the inability to walk.
Oh yeah, I was like,
It definitely affects your gigs as a drag queen.
well, because I had missed a gig in Flagstaff, and that's when Joe Biden's wife was there to speak at the Pride. So I missed that. I have a gig on the 14th, which is a symphony show in Raleigh. I had missed that last year, so we had to reschedule that for this year. So there's a lot of stuff I had to make up that I missed. But yeah, you got to take care of, like, if you have like inflammatory issues like gout or any stuff like that, you got to take care of it. I have to take that inflammatory stuff every day. So it's not easy.
You had issues like during COVID as well. Was that also the spine? Was that the spinal stenosis?
No, that was that was the AFib.
AFib.
Yeah, I told you they got a lot going on. But remember I told you I was having issues on Drag Race All Stars. But when they had given me all that caffeine and stuff, and I started having heart palpitations. And the reason why they packed me up and made me leave, they sent me to the hospital because apparently all that caffeine made my heart go into an irregular heartbeat called atrial fibrillation. And I've always had palpitations, but this was something different. So I went to the hospital and they diagnosed me with atrial fibrillation, which was obviously irregular heartbeat. But I have to take medicine for that now. So,
You're
girl,
going
one
through
time
it.
one time I had to call the ambulance. Guess what my heart rate was?
What?
320 beats per minute.
Oh my gosh. How's that even possible? It's so fast.
That's what it was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they started talking about doing a cardiac inversion. You ever heard of that?
No.
It's where they kind of sedate you just a little, but they put these things on your heart and they shock it and stop it and restart it. No, ma'am. I said, I'm not doing
They tried to turn you off and back on again?
They wanted to do that. Instead of doing that, they gave me this stuff called cardism, which is what I take every day in the ambulance. So they reset my heart in the ambulance. That's why I don't drink caffeine.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
What, you thought it was just a headache, girl?
Yeah, I thought maybe you just had a runny nose or something. I don't know, like cough. So like with that, like drag was like your main income, but having all these like health issues, you were unable to do drag for a while, and then also a period of time where you just lost the love of doing drag.
Yeah.
What have you been doing for work since then?
Well, I've been trying to do DoorDash. I've been trying to do I started this thing called Henny Hotline where people pay. It's like a Cameo, but instead of just a personalized video, it's like a phone call. And people were on board with it at first, but I think people were just like, maybe I'm not marketing it right. I've had a few, quite a few amazing phone calls, but I'm just trying to get that back to going.
Are you not on Cameo also?
No, we don't get along.
Oh, what happened? What happened with Cameo?
Someone went off the app to get a Cameo video, and I apparently didn't deliver it in time because I was in the hospital. And so they reported Cameo and told them that I was doing off market videos for money. So they canceled me.
Oh, dang.
Even after sending them the video in the hospital, I was in the hospital making a video. They were like, well, we don't want it, man. We don't want it now. I'm like, well, okay. Sorry I didn't die.
So, but your Henny hotline though, like, what is the Henny hotline exactly? You said you give people phone calls. Like, do you talk about anything in particular?
Yeah,
or?
I mean, I advertise 10 minutes, but I've never done less than 15 minutes, 20-minute phone calls. We can do video call. We do actual phone calls, but we talk about anything. If they ask me anything, I'll talk about it. So just like I had one the other day where it was actually a podcast that she's recorded, and so she's going to use that as part of her podcast. So, we talk about anything like health, talk about drag, we talk about drag race, cooking, food, anything.
Were you like selling drawings and stuff too?
Yeah, people don't appreciate art, honey. They don't.
No?
They don't.
What are you drawing for people?
Anything.
Anything?
Girl, anything.
You just did open commissions, just whatever people want?
Yeah, I've done custom stuff. I sell stuff I've already drawn.
Do you have a name for them? Because you have a Henny hotline. Do you have a name for your drawings?
Not really.
Just drawings. Commission. Do you guys want a commission of anything?
Customized drawings by Henny.
Yeah. But you say right now your focus is focusing on like yourself, and you want to get like your gastric bypass, and then go from there. Whenever you feel that things are like centered, like how heavy do you want to hit back drag again? Just like doing regular gigs, pageants. Like what's the ideal goal for you?
My ideal goal for me is to get financially stable. That's what I want to do. I don't want to rely on photos and paintings, and I mean that's always a good thing, but I want to get out, go to places I've never been. I mean, I've been to quite a few places over the last, how many years has it been? 15?
Something like that.
Yeah. But there's a lot of places I'd love to go back to. A lot of things I want to do. I want to do more theater shows. Because I had a 2-month tour in the UK of Cinderella. I want to do stuff like that again. So I just want to get back out there.
Do you have a like a Venmo or CashApp or anything people can donate to if they want to just like help you out or just
I do.
Can
You want to give it to?
Yeah.
Are you just gonna put it on the screen?
Yeah, let's put it on the screen. Yeah, because I mean, I think there's a lot of people that are fans of yours. They want to help, but they may not necessarily. People get anxiety talking on the phone, or maybe there's like commissions. I'm sure we got fans with disposable income. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, I've helped a lot of people.
If you just want to help out, just to help her get back on her feet and
help me buy a new wig, please.
Buy a new wig, but she really needs it. Just one lace front. That's all we're asking.
Oh my god.
No, like I'd love to see you back on your feet and seeing you hitting the road again and get Henny tour coming soon.
Yeah.
It's like I think you are like a legend in the drag scene and you have such an impact on the culture and I hope to see you back out there and doing your thing again.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. But like in the meantime, though, we got the Henny hotline. If you want to have a phone call and chit chat with her, if you got some commissions, she'll draw whatever your porn fantasies are and put it on the pen and paper for you.
And I
have
do
you had
actually.
Any like that?
What'd you say?
Have you had any like that? Like people asking for like dirty commissions and stuff with the drawings?
Not yet.
Not yet.
But I'm open to it, honey.
Yeah, that's a really big thing, especially like in certain communities where they want like drawings and stuff like that. Especially with the furries. Are you good at drawing animals?
I've never tried.
All right, furries. Well,
I'm more like
put her to the test.
What's his name? Bob Ross.
A Bob Ross.
Landscapes.
Okay.
I can draw a creek.
A
barn.
So you're drawing everything in your backyard.
I will draw this place when I leave.
Yeah. So if you want to see what Stacy is currently looking at the whatever time of the day it is, hit her up. She'll draw it for you.
Oh, and people always ask me if I have merch. I actually have merch on Inclusion Plus's website with Brandon Banks, who is one of my managers. So if you want to hit him up on Inclusion Plus.
Yeah, that's where they can find any commissions, little things they want from you, merch, all the
stickers.
Things. What's your preferred platform you like people following you on?
I like Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah.
I like Instagram where it's
Stacy L. Matthews.
Stacy L. Matthews.
I would say X, but that's turned into XXX.
Well, it's always been that way. But now it's like, my worry is not like the XXX. My worry is like the conservative white supremacy on X. That's the problem now.
Yeah, you're scrolling, you're looking at Oprah's book club, and then all of a sudden there's like a dick.
I know you're not complaining about that.
I'm not. How would I know?
But as far as the content you create, Instagram is the platform.
Yeah, Instagram.
Little photos.
I'm trying to get back. I'm trying to get into TikTok. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just like stream of consciousness, just get you a good little phone camera. The problem is like I'm not trying to shame people that have like Samsungs and things like that, but the videos just aren't it. You need
girl, I got the best camera in the industry, honey.
I think you need like an iPhone for like the videos and stuff.
I have the S25 Ultra Plus. It's the best camera on the market. Okay.
Is that what they told you when they sold it to you? You got.
I could take a picture of the moon and see the flag, honey. Not really.
Well, if you're doing drag, you don't want it to be that detailed, though. We don't want to see the craters.
Is this an HD?
No.
Oh,
see, they're too small budget for that.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
See my pores.
What pores?
You don't see these pores?
We're in North Carolina. Everyone's poor.
Especially me.
On that note, that is the last of the time we have and the last of my cards. But before you go, I did want to give you something.
Okay.
We didn't talk about it much, but you actually are a lover of cinema. You love movies. And so I wanted to get you something.
Oh, God. It's a gun. She's got a gun.
Jesus, no. But I wanted to get you for your bedside, a framed photo of one of your favorite actors. This is for you to keep. I thought you would really...
You want me to look at it?
Yeah, it's for you. But just for you. What is it about this actor that you love so much? What is it about his films that have touched you?
This is everything to me. This person helped me through a lot.
I'm sure.
When times are hard, when I'm hard.
Mm-hmm.
When life is just hard, it just helps me release.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Boomer.
Yeah, I thought, just something to keep you going, to see like another successful actor, someone who's hitting it and achieving their goals, and just to
Yeah,
inspire you to keep pushing forward, no
he's
matter
so
how
hard.
hard it gets.
No matter how hard life gets.
Yeah, I'm not actually familiar with his work, but but you mentioned before that he was your favorite actor in the space. Is there something special about him and his abilities?
I don't know, just something about him. He's like,
Just speaks to you.
he was actually on the set when I was doing the Heather video, standing
Oh, was
there.
he?
He was my inspiration. I was like, who the is Heather?
Uh-huh.
Oh shit, he's so hot. I
Yeah.
love him.
But that's
I
for you.
love Boomer.
That's for you to keep. Just a nice little photo for a good Christian woman like yourself. Uh, well, on that note, you guys, Jesus Christ.
You're so dirty.
Well, on that note, as we mentioned, people can find you. You have the Henny Hotline drawings. If you guys want to donate, help her out in these, trying times, this economy especially. Grab your parents' credit card, hit up her Venmo, Cash App. We'll put it on the screen for you, and you follow her on Instagram. And follow
This is
Boomer.
all I need. This
And
is
follow
all I
Boomer
need.
on X.
Boomer Banks.
And you guys can find me right here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any future guests. And join us next time whenever we have somebody else. Maybe Boomer.
Yes, I will be there.
Yeah, I don't think I can copy his outfit for that one.
Ooh.
But yeah, see you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you again to Scentbird for sponsoring this episode. Be sure to scan the QR code or use code Maddy2 to get 55% off your first month with Scentbird.
Let's go.
Who the is Heather?